Yeah. So if you're able to just start off with an introduction of yourself and sort of how you got to where you are and what your role is in the market right now and how things have changed for you over the past couple of weeks.
Sure. Okay, so I guess to introduce myself, I studied accounting in school, and kind of the only thing I've learned from that is that I'll not make a good accountant. So I should get into sales. And I was applying to different banks, different financial institutions. One of the things I used to do while I was in school is work part-time at Bel Air Direct selling car and home insurance on the phone.
Yeah.
And my options were to either work for a bank or to work for to go back into insurance. And I said, you know what, commercial insurance sounds like it's fancy, sounds like it has a good ring to it. So I'll try doing that. And then I found a good company to work for, Lyons Butler Insurance Brokers. I was working there for 6 years as a commercial insurance broker. So I was selling property and casualty insurance to business owners. So that's your building insurance, insurance for commercial and residential real estate, insurance for construction companies, manufacturers, tech companies, all kinds of fun stuff like that. Kidnap and ransom insurance, professional liability, you know, I can make it sound sexy and exciting. But I was doing that, and when I built a good enough clientele, I started my own business with my business partner, Aaron Ibrahimi.
Nice.
And so we've been together since my first job at the call center. So
Cool.
he kind of was doing the same things. He joined my firm as well as an insurance broker, and we started our own firm. 4 years. We've been awarded. We received an award as #1 brokerage in Ontario with 10 employees or under, which my team was pretty proud of. And yeah, like things are just going well. Just building, hiring people one person at a time, building one client at a time. So
yeah, awesome. How do you typically get most of your business? Are you doing like cold calling? Like, is it direct selling mostly, or?
It's cold calling. It's like where we get most of our new opportunities, but we also get a lot of referrals from our existing clients.
Right.
And we're also pretty involved in the industry, and like kind of I was used to sit on the board of directors for Liberty Village Business Improvement Area Association, and my partner and I we sit on BNI chapters. So like we try to do as much as possible, but cold calling is where we get like most of our best opportunities, I would say.
Okay. Are you still calling right now, like given the climate, or does it seem like people are not as receptive? Because I work in real estate and in finance, and so on the sales side, things have been a little bit slow, obviously, but on the finance side, I would say that there's a lot of opportunism. There's a lot of people trying to capitalize on low rates, but there's also a lot of people that are looking to kind of reconfigure their existing capital stacks to build a little bit of a hedge, let's say, against the market uncertainty. Are you seeing kind of similar opportunism on the insurance side, and are calls successful, or are people kind of interpreting you as an ambulance chaser if you're reaching out to them right now?
No, not at all. I mean, we're still trying to do all kinds of things, like to reach out to our clients. I think right now is a good opportunity for us to first of all like solidify the relationship with existing clients.
Sure.
So we're trying to reach out to existing clients, make sure that they all feel comfortable with their existing policies, and they understand like what's happening to like how what's happening in the world affects them, and whether or not they have insurance policy in place. Most of those guys don't, because insurance was never meant to cover COVID-19 pandemic, right? But we're talking to them. We're taking this opportunity with them to review their whole insurance portfolio and to try to take a look again on the coverages that they must have in order to continue like their lease or continue their mortgage, requirements. And anything that's extra, we go through line by line to try to see where we can cut down some of the coverages that they no longer need, or at this time can be useful to take away, so that they to help them on their cash flow.
Right.
And we also go through the coverages available right now in the industry to help them through this uncertain time. For example, there's a lot of layoffs that are happening. Now we sell an insurance called employment practice liability coverage that can help the business owner, can cover him against lawyers suing the business owner for wrongful dismissal so like of the employee or sexual harassment. So now with the layoffs, there may be a lot of lawsuits coming in on employment practice on the employment side.
Right.
We also have a product called accounts receivable, where we insure the accounts receivable of clients. So manufacturers, wholesalers, they can insure their receivables, meaning that if a client goes bankrupt or somebody doesn't pay them more than if somebody doesn't pay them their receivable, they can get that covered by the insurance company.
Gotcha.
So a lot of clients don't know those options. We try to make sure that all those options are clear. There's also a rise in crime on construction sites right now, so we try to review their construction equipment, making sure that that's covered properly. And so there's a lot of opportunity for us. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of things to be discussed, and we're kind of taking this as a good opportunity to contact all of our clients, make sure that insurance is something that doesn't worry them at this time.
Good. It's good to hear, like, that, there's still opportunity for you to add value, because I think a lot of people are struggling with, do I call just to check in and make sure people are okay? Or, everybody's email inbox is inundated with something about COVID-19. And it's like, how do we really still function as an economy when a lot of people don't want to be bothered about this? Some people are just, wanting to treat it like a holiday or a rest, which, I guess might be the only time in our life we ever get to do that. So I can understand why some people are.
That's true.
How have things?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you also asked me about call calling, and we still do call calling. Like,
yeah.
On the defensive side of the business, which to defend our existing clients, like we're trying to reach out, making sure that they know all their options. On the proactive side, like on the offensive side, like where we try to reach out to new clients, I think call calling right now is like a really good time, because insurance policies are still coming out for renewal. A lot of brokers, like you said, they're taking the opportunity to relax and kind of not do anything. So they're not reaching out to their clients as proactively as us. And now we're seeing and clients, and this is the time where clients need help more than ever. So a lot of times we call business owners and we ask them, hey, what's going on? Do you know all your options that are happening? And the client hasn't heard from his broker for the last 10 years. And of course, the broker is not going to call the client now. During this time, the broker doesn't want to have a conversation on what's covered, and doesn't want to talk to the client. So we were actually seeing like tons of opportunity out there, like to build new relationships and make new sales at this time.
Awesome. That's great. I guess it's nice to be in a position in an industry that that still has a ton of value, maybe even more value as a result of this. Have you noticed that people's sentiment is changing a little bit? Like, people are becoming a little bit more appreciative or accepting of the necessity of insurance, especially among young people who, I think we all sort of felt the last bull run was so long and so profitable, lucrative for so many people, that we're all starting to feel economically pretty invincible, right? Have you noticed that sentiment has changed a little bit? Like, does it seem like people are becoming a little bit more, or beginning to think a little bit more critically about making good financial decisions, including obviously on the insurance side?
No, not the insurance side, because people I speak to, again, insurance is, a lot of people, they think of, there's a lot of news coming out right now, and there's a lot of articles being read, and some of those articles are more true than others, but they always kind of relate the insurance side of things, and kind of like any financial institution, you got the mortgages, insurance companies, banks. What are they doing to help people at this time, to help them to go through this situation that they're going through right now with the COVID-19? Insurance companies, they came out with some news where they're going to allow clients pay their payments, their premiums a bit late. They're not going to charge cancellation fees, but in general, there hasn't been like any drastic changes in the way the insurance companies are doing business. There hasn't been like any claims being paid out. There hasn't been any. So if anything, it's really important for all the brokers right now to reach out to their clients, all the insurance brokers to reach out to their clients to kind of explain to them what's going on, because I think a lot of people are kind of confused and they're not sure whether or not this is COVID-19 insured. It's not. Are they going to get money back from their current home insurance? And that uncertainty, I think, can frustrate a lot of people. Just like me, if I think about stuff that I'm not sure about, and I read the news and I, mortgages, whatever, I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, does my mortgage company owe me something now? Like, to give me money back? Like, are they not going to charge me interest? And somebody on my side, or having somebody to consult with, and to give me kind of reassurance about what's going on and why things are happening the way they are, you know, allows me to just continue with the way, like continue, not get frustrated, you know, so.
Yeah. No, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. And I think that that's sort of why I started this whole initiative is just, I've been like, I still make, you know, a minimum number of calls a day. And I always just try and start my, you know, the objective of my phone calls is just to add value. And now I found that the way that I can do that when I'm speaking with prospective clients or existing clients right now is by gathering information. A lot of these people want to know,
Yeah.
they want to have the conversations that you and I are having. And many people don't have the resources. So I've just kind of been trying to reach out to as many people as possible to get an idea for what's going on in their industry as a result of COVID, and to try and distill that information so I can get it across to my clients. Cause I think that it's impossible to make a decision if you don't have all the information. Right. And there's a lot of information out there that's changed really quickly, and it's tough to get a reach and a grasp for all of it. So you mentioned that things like haven't really, let's say, changed all that much, or that there's still that the sort of uncertainty on the insurance side. Do you think that things are going to change more? Like, I obviously don't want to try and make you make any predictions here or anything, but what do you think like the next, you know, month is going to look like, and what do you think the next quarter is going to look like, and what do you think the next year is going to look like in your industry?
So those are good questions, very good questions. Well, I try to, as a business owner myself, I try to think of things a little bit positively, and I try to like take things a day at a time. Like I don't try not to concentrate on what's going to happen in the future. You know, are we going to be as a business affected by COVID-19 100%? I mean, like we're seeing a lot of our clients, like I said, we're doing a lot of transactions where we're removing a lot of coverages that they used to have, and try to help them with the cash flow, which in the end of the day affects our cash flow as a business. But you know, I try to really see it more. I try to look at this, and I try to look at it as a positive side, like glass half full type of thing. You know, clients need me right now, need my help, so I try to be there for them, and I try to think of all the positives like that will come out of this. The relationship is going to build in the long term. You know, like a lot of my clients, they're good friends of mine. You know, they're running also businesses alongside me, and you know, like I will do my best to help them like any way I can at this point. You know, if they need me to connect them to another professional that can help them with figure out their financials, can get them through their taxes, and like I'll be there for them, connecting them to that professional. If there is if they need somebody to come in and do a presentation to their sales team, you know, like, and teach them about cold calling, I'll be there making cold calls alongside, like trying to do anything I can to help my clients. And I look at this more again as a broker, somebody like in sales. You know, like I always try to look for ways to add value to my clients. And I think now it's kind of like an opportunity where, you know, clients need my help, and I look at it as an opportunity to be there for them. Like, so I try not to think about like what's it going to do to my business. It doesn't really matter. I'll try to be there and help them as much as possible. And then at the end of the day, I think my business is going to thrive through it. Like, funny enough, for the last 2 months, a lot of brokers said that they were having difficulty reaching out to clients. My team has actually brought in more clients than we ever did in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's going to continue, but you know, it is kind of motivating to see. Like, and those guys, they motivate me to kind of have a positive outlook on this whole situation, because they were looking at it positively and they were taking advantage of opportunities. So, you know, I have pretty optimistic views on this. Like, how is it going to affect me a month from now? Well, if the economy is going to keep slowing down and things are not going to restart, months from now, we're going to see more cancellations. We're going to see more clients kind of not being able to afford their insurance, not being able to buy it. A lot of clients going out of business, and it's going to keep affecting us the same way. Like, what I can now, that's outside of my control. So things that are in my control are, you know, the changes I'm going to make on my own, and to market my business differently, to reach out to my clients differently, which is what I'm doing now, like doing all those videos on LinkedIn and YouTube. So that's totally new for me. And the same thing, like presentations, we're now changing the way we present proposals to clients. So we used to go to meetings in person. We like that. We like building a relationship with clients. You know, we don't like doing just having transactional things happening over the phone. That's not really why I got into the business of, you know, I like to go in, to
Yeah.
see the client at his job site, like go through all the documents with him. But now we're doing it on those meetings on Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an interesting process. Like changes everything, changes the whole dynamic of the meeting, and how do you build rapport? It's a bit different now. And like just sales calls with my team are different. Motivational like now no longer we see each other in person, but we talk to each other 8 a.m.
Yeah, it's tough.
We have a call where everybody's kind of like wakes up, forces everybody to wake up early, get out of bed, and tries to and start the conversation about how we're going to improve ourselves today, what's going to be, how many calls we're going to make today, and everybody kind of goes in order to make a commitment to everybody else
Right.
that they're going to get this thing done. They're going to get through. So
Amazing. It's nice to see. I think that there's some good advice in there as well. Like it seems like you're, on a personal level and on the as a business operator and owner, you're really supporting the people, not only your clients, but obviously the people that work with you, the brokers and agents within your shop. Is there any advice beyond that you can offer or that you are offering to people in the industry, clients, other brokers, even, or even other business people? Like you mentioned, whatever I can do to support friends or family in other businesses. How would that conversation look? What kind of general advice are you giving to people to deal with this sort of, it's a black swan event, really. I mean, there's no way that you can be like, oh, in history, this is what some people did, so you should repeat that. Like, I mean, this is really something we haven't seen before. What kind of advice are you giving to your colleagues and clients?
I think this is advice that was given to me as well, but and like my business partner tells me that, and my fiance always says it to me. She is it's very easy to kind of start thinking about things that are happening to you and like kind of just feel down and say that, hey, why is this happening to me? Why is this? Why did I start my insurance sales career while everybody's on quarantine? Or why are people not, why am I not able to meet my sales targets at this time? Like kind of, you gotta, instead of looking at it this way, you gotta be appreciative of the opportunities that you're getting and of the fact that, your family is safe and everybody is kind of, everybody is healthy and everybody is safe. And we live in Canada, which is an amazing country, and like all the initiatives the government is making, I don't know, like if that would be the same if I lived in, in a different country, like if I wouldn't get the same opportunities or the same support as a business owner as I'm getting here in Canada. So I feel appreciative of that. And I'm also feeling appreciative of the fact that, like our business is still essential and we're still operating. So, I feel like I have a duty to make sure that I work my ass off, like and continue, support the economy and make sure the business is still happening.
Sure.
Which is funny enough. Sometimes we call people right now to talk to them about their insurance, and they feel happy because like they hear from us and they go, "Hey, like, these guys are calling me to sell insurance. Business must be as usual, and things are not so, you know what I mean." So,
Yeah, that's interesting.
so appreciating what you have is like super important, and like when you appreciate things, like it gives you a whole different perspective towards what you can do going forward, and also appreciating the opportunity that right now, you've learned how to do business a certain way, and now you get this, you're forced. It's almost like there's a personal trainer or somebody who tells you, nope, find a different way. I'll give you this time frame of a month, 2 months, whatever, 6 months, give you this time frame, find a different way, channel to build your business on, find a different platform. And it's like as an entrepreneur or and as a salesperson, like I love this sort of challenges, like I drive through them. So like, yeah, you give me more of that, sort of challenge, and I'll be like the last man standing. If things fall down, I'll be the last insurance broker selling you insurance. So
Good. I really like that philosophy. I think it's really easy to fall into that victim mentality right now. And I think you're right. We have so much to be grateful for. I remember reading a perspective from a doctor in India who had said, in the West, if you guys have social distancing policies, I don't think that's something to complain about. If you're forced to stay home, that means that you're able to stay home and you're able to socially isolate. There are a lot of people in the world who don't have that privilege, right? And I think that that really opened my eyes to, I mean, we're very lucky, right? I think that there's nowhere really that I'd rather be in the face of a global pandemic than in the greater Toronto area. Is there anything else that you want to add before we sign off? Anything else you want to discuss?
No, if any of your clients are looking for a new commercial insurance broker, if they're feeling like their broker is not reaching out to them at this time, and if not just if they're not feeling, but if they haven't heard from their broker yet about the options they have, and there are a lot of options right now besides the whole business interruption thing, whether or not it's covered. You need to talk about the changes in their business. You need to talk to the changes in the occupancy if the person is a building owner. You need to talk about like the even changes, like even the fact that clients need to know that with all the things that are happening, and in some places it's really hard to buy different types of insurance products, but in some places it's easier. Like for example, life insurance, it's all online now. So clients who are having difficulties normally qualifying for life insurance. Now you don't even need to have you don't even need a nurse to go to your house because life insurance companies have adapted. So now there's no better time to buy life insurance, but this time because everything is online now. We can sell you life insurance in like 2 minutes, right? For key men or for buy and sell purposes. So lots of options, lots of changes. And if they need somebody, call one of our representatives at KASE Insurance. We're a commercial specialty insurance brokerage, and we're won awards. We're top rated on Google. There's more than 100 reviews, and we have 5 stars from other business owners. So yeah, I'd love to hear from them.
Okay, awesome. Where can people find you directly? Like, where do you prefer that people reach out to you? I'll put the links in the podcast notes and on YouTube. So, do you want them to find you on LinkedIn? Do you do Twitter, Instagram, or any of that stuff, or do you prefer a website?
Anywhere, Instagram, LinkedIn, website, kaseinsurance.com. Email me personally, Stanislav.Kojokin at kaseinsurance.com.
Okay.
And yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate all the insight that you brought to the world of insurance and how COVID is impacting it. And I think people are really going to benefit from that perspective. And I think you're right in a general respect. I think people will be delighted to see that, some businesses are still operating as usual, and economically, I think, we might recover from this perhaps a little bit more promptly than the media wants us to think.
Exactly. Okay. I appreciate it, Daniel. Great chat.
Time.
Stay in touch. Bye.
Talk soon. Bye.